Yeah. Um, so we make host. Yeah. Mr. Destiny, you are the host right now. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
Okay. All right then. Just a minute, please. A minute, and we're good to go. All right. So welcome once again, everybody. Um, Today we are going to be talking on or speaking on a very important subject. That is automation
Oh, sir,
in Excel.
there is some disturbance
Yeah.
in your voice. I'm not sure
Sorry,
some electric signal disturbance.
some
Like,
disturbance.
yeah, I mean, some sort of signal disturbance. Like, I don't know how to circle it. Yeah.
Just hold on a moment.
Yeah.
Oh, two. Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Al-Amin Muhammad. Right now it's a pause. He's Mr. Destiny, our professor, is fixing the issue.
All right. So yes, I'm having some little disturbance. Over here, whenever it rained, there tends to be some network fluctuation, and I'm trying to migrate to a new one. So just give me a moment. But I think we should. I would just want to go on. Then whenever the new setup is ready, I'll transition very smoothly and very quickly. All right. So this was completely unexpected. So I'm going to progress with the session with your permission, right? Is that fine?
Yeah, it's completely fine. I think you are clear right now. We are good to go now.
All right. Thank you. All right. Let me know when my screen is visible.
Yeah, it's visible for me. If any of the participant can confirm, it would be great.
Uh, I'll need something like an audible confirmation, not just the comments. So just let me know. Maybe you'll be in the comments and let me know when
I can
there's a
see your
response.
screen, sir.
All right. Fantastic. Uh, Today we are talking about streamlining, AI automation for Excel workflows in the oil and gas. So there are several distinguishing factors of the oil and gas as compared to maybe finance or sales or some other industry, right? There's some distinguishing factors, and one of them is highly intellectual workflows, right? So they are not just very simple, plain workflows that you can just put in here into one tool, one AI tool, and then you take whatever comes out. It's highly knowledgeable work, right? So you need a lot of carefulness. Also, more than that, it also needs this level of caution because everything done in the oil and gas is a high stakes business. All right, a lot of investment, a lot of capital, and a lot of careers and jobs on the lines. So you don't want to be the one making that mistake. All right. So in automation, the good side is you tend to save a lot of time. You tend to we'll talk about all this. Let's just first of all start with what Excel automation is. So simply you are coming up with intelligent or smart ways to make your work faster and your life easier in the process as a result. Right? So you want to make your work faster and you want to make your life easier by coming up with you are coming up with new skills, new ideas, and ways to just make things to go on their own, while you spend your time on more productive ventures or activities. Now, that is Excel automation. So you write. Sometimes it could be a formula, a simple formula that helps you do a number of calculations. Sometimes it could be the use of Excel macros, VBA. At other times, it could even be as advanced as using tools like RPA, robotic process automation, where you could just, where you develop something like a software bot, and it's going to just keep doing your tasks while you are asleep. You might need to leave your machine on, and then it's going to be crawling around through your device, doing the tasks you are supposed to be doing. And with the advent of AI, kind of everything has become even more interesting and exciting, right? Automation is now much more powerful than before. So while there are levels to automation, we'll be looking at a basic level using formulas and a few clicks, buttons here and there to automate tasks. Those are very foundational before you start talking about big ones, right? So we have already talked about why it matters, and the topics we'll be treating will cover areas around cleaning, categorizing, structuring data, and we'll see how to analyze data with AI, Microsoft Copilot. But for now, let's just continue with the slides. We'll start with data cleaning. So sometimes in the production data, the data sent from the field or something, you'll see various inconsistencies, maybe in the well names, in the field names. You see missing data, you find out that there are mismatch, units mismatch, you find out that they are sometimes it could be with the dates. And then sometimes for some people, that forms a large chunk of their work, right? So they have to standardize that data. They have to make sure that everything is clean. Everything is in order before they can actually use it for analysis. All right. So interestingly, and it will shock you, a lot of time goes into trying to standardize data. All right. But thank God for modern solutions now that tools like Power Query and stuff like that automates this whole process. Right. Then we have so we have AI tools, some little tricky AI add-ons on Excel that could help us do all this cleaning. Maybe just with a single formula, you'll be shocked what can be done with just maybe writing a formula in a few seconds, 20, 30 seconds, as compared to spending 2, 3, 4 hours trying to clean a particular set of data, particularly when it has to do with either production data or specifically data sets and files we have from the oil and gas. All right, that's what we are going to be focusing on. All right, we'll talk about categorization. It looks simple, but a lot of the work we do has to do with categorization, right? So you have this set of files, maybe they are maintenance log and your maintenance logs, and your job is to make sure that you are able to look at the reports and classify them. Okay, this is a high risk problem or task. This requires more attention than this other thing, right? So a lot of the things we do sometimes requires a lot of classification or categorization without us knowing. All right. So different aspects of categorization, and we're going to see how AI can support you in that task and automate. It's not replacing you. It's just going to support you. All right. So then a very peculiar problem we have in the oil and gas is the fact that you work with different partners, different clients, you work with different clients, different partners, and different professionals across different departments and fields. So you would always receive different structures of data. It will not be in your expected format, right? So you will probably receive a core analysis from a client, maybe from the lab, or from PVT data, or a particular analysis, laboratory analysis, or maybe well test data. And the format in which this well test is reported, maybe it's not in a format that you can use. It's not that it's wrong, it's just that it's not in a format that you can use for your analysis or other things you intend to do or intend to achieve. All right, so we are going to see how to structure unstructured data. Sometimes it could be a PDF, a written report in a PDF, and you want to, extract specific things. You want to extract, let's say you want to extract well names from each of these PDFs, or you want to extract a particular value, maybe the maximum production rate written in those PDFs, or something very specific, a particular ID, equipment ID or something. All right. So you need to extract this data. So AI can do that, can help you do that. And we are going to see how. You want to extract technical parameters like porosity, permeability, or maybe depth from a certain report or from certain reports. Let's say, for example, from about 20, 35 reports or 15 reports, you want to quickly extract all those within a minute or two. We'll see how AI can help with that. All right. So Copilot is a tool. It's not new. It has been in Excel for, I think, since 2023. I've also used the Copilot. I mean, it's also in other Microsoft products. I've used Copilot in Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, right? So it's very much in Excel, and it helps a lot in analysis, right? So you're going to be analyzing things in Excel. But another interesting area where it helps is in formula generation, right? It's going to help you generate correct formula, and sometimes even to explain the formula. All right. So you saw a work done by somebody, maybe a complex work. It has to do with something like some complex calculations, or something like maybe production allocations that requires a lot of something like that. All right. Or some other sheet like that. And you want to understand, it seems difficult understanding what he did. Maybe the person that you took over from at work, the person who previously held that role, or maybe from another department sent to you, or from someone in your team sent to you. You will need to understand what is going on there, and maybe you don't have the time to start disturbing them for the explanation and all that. You can actually use AI to help you break down the formulas just by right there in your Excel without leaving your Excel sheet. All right, so these are the tools we'll be using. We'll be using okay, we are not going to be using all these tools, but these are the common tools that's used for automating Excel. We're just going to be using Copilot and a few ChatGPT Excel plugin. There's a plugin called ChatGPT Excel. All right. So those are some of the tools we are going to be using. All right. So that will be it. This session is meant to be a short session, but I'm hoping that it's going to make a particularly strong impression on you. So I'm going to start with a few Excel files I have here. All right. So the first one I'm going to start with, it's going to be a case of a data cleaning use case. All right. Oh, I think it's already open. So I will just all right. So the first case we have here is that of a well header, or maybe a well name. So while you could have a lot of data, normally in oil and gas, you probably have a lot of data here in the table, filling various rows and spanning across columns. But I'm just going to keep it simple by bringing just a specific column or row where we are going to be working on. And in this case, we have a record, something like this. So wherever this has come from, it could come from reports, it could come from somebody's email, right? Someone sent you an email with this. It could come from wherever it came from, maybe from old data sets of Excel files or something. And you need a structure, you need a clean format, or you need to extract a particular well name. Let's start with the well name. Now, the first thing you need to know is it's about how you can install the plugins I just referred to. So make sure that you have a subscribed version of Microsoft 365. You have a proper functioning license, and at least any of the licenses, whether it's a business or a personal license. In this case, this is a personal license, but a business license would have much more features. But let's start as simple as we can. All right, so I'm going to start with showing you how to add this, bring in these add-ins, and I'm going to show you their limitations, right? So the first one in the home tab, you would see this called add-ins here, right? If you can't find it here on this tab, you should come over to the file tab. When you click on it, you go over to accounts, and you would see get add-ins here. All right, so this way you can find them here. All right, so we have the add-ins, and by the time you click on them, you'll see this open up, and you can actually search for whatever plugins you need to automate your work. Plugins are a great way to automate your work and make your life easier, but a lot of persons sleep on it. All right, so I'm going to search ChatGPT for Excel, and you'll see this particular icon here. There are probably more than one name ChatGPT for Excel there, but specifically go for this one with a black icon, right? Go for this one, and by the time you click on it, click add, and it's going to be added, and you'll see it up here, my add-ins, right? Initially, you'll see it among the search results here, but by the time you click on add, you're going to see it here. All right, so you might want to take note of that. There is also a second one, which is numerous.ai. All right, I don't think would have enough time to use it. We are really, really limited by time, but you can still add that as well by searching num or numerous. All right, so this particular one helps us to deal with our Excel formulas. The few things I mentioned to you, generating and explaining Excel formulas, very important. All right. Now, one other thing you will notice here is you will notice that Copilot is not in this version. It's not showing in this version, right? But if you are using a business version, you will see Copilot. Or if you are using the web version, right? If you are using the web version, you would see Copilot here. All right, you can see Copilot here in the web version. All right, so that is it. So let's go back. I will come back here, but let's go back to this. So let's say you have something like this. By the time you have installed this ChatGPT for Excel and you click on it, you will notice this tab opens by the right side of your sheet. Now, first of all, these are some special unique functions that you would need to use, that you would use, that is provided by this particular plugin. You can see them by clicking on this how to use and then clicking on AI functions here. All right, and you'll see these functions. So we are not going to be using all the functions. For our oil and gas use cases, I think we'll just be using about 3 or 4 of them, right? So the first one is going to be AI.format, which we use a lot for data cleaning, and AI.extract. Then we'd also use AI.choice for categorization, and we'll use AI.table, all right, for structuring unstructured data. All right. So it's also important to state a little limitation here that for the free version, you have a limited number of calls you can make, function calls you can make. But if you want an extended version, I think there's a little tiny fee to be paid here through the plans. All right. So we'll just go straight on how to do this. I'll click on a cell. And so if you look here, let me try to expand or zoom in on this. All right. If you look here, we have a well name, or what is supposedly a well name, and an asset name together. All right. And let's say we want to find a way to extract this. Now, your first intuition might be, okay, we can quickly use formulas to do this. But that becomes very tricky because number one, using a formula will make it a bit difficult. In this case, it looks very simple because you can see that all the wells are starting with the name well. All right, but when you have a case, let me show you a case, a different case. Okay. When you have a case that you have different names, for example, there's Adaga 3 here, there's Ubima 2, there's Lemba 2X, different kind of names for the well. All right. It becomes a lot more difficult and tricky trying to figure out a pattern that actually match, right? That matches or that fits what you want to do, right? So you would try to count the characters, but the characters would not match, right? Some of them are 3 letters, some of them are 6 letters, some of them are 8 letters. So there is no easy way around it. Some people will try using split column, like this one here. It's here in the data tab, right? And they'll try to use text to columns, right? This option here, where they will try to separate these into various columns. But this will not work. You can try it because there is no clear delimiter to use. All right, there's no clear delimiter to use. Some of the delimiters are hyphens, some of them are underscores, some of them are slash or strokes, and some of them are just space. All right, and even there's one with an @ symbol here. So this makes it a bit difficult. Now it looks simple because we have just 10 samples here. But what if we have like 300 wells or 300, a case of 300, 800 wells, all right, or samples? That becomes very, very tough and challenging and time consuming. You really don't want to do that, I assure you that. All right. So what can you do? AI can help you do it accurately. All you need to do is to use the function AI. Once you mention AI, those 8 functions will show up. And then in this case, we are going to start with the AI.format. All right. And I'll press tab and it's going to help me complete it. So the first thing you have to do, the first input will be the value input. All right. And you put in a comma. So I've selected what the particular cell I want to edit. Now the second one will be the format. All right. So you can actually write what kind of format you expect here. All right. So I could just say something like, well, XX. All right. Well, XX. Sorry. I could just say something like, well, XX. If for example, what I want to do is to extract just the well names. Now, another way would be to say delete OML, put in well XX format. Sorry, just hold on a moment. Let me quickly check up something and make sure I'm not mixing up this. Now, there's quite a lot of formulas on my head, so occasionally I mix them up. All right, good. So I think I just failed to put the string here. All right, I'm supposed to put a string here, a string notation here. That's quotation marks here and there. All right, so I could do this, and you see busy, but it's going to take a few seconds. Sorry?
You
Did you say
forget
something?
to put apostrophe because you can't run the
quotation mark. Yeah. Exactly. Sorry. Thank you. So so we have this as the so what I said here, delete OML XX and put in well XX format. All right. So basically it has done this, and then you can pull this down to other wells, and you quickly notice that we have that automatically cleaned. All right. So instead of trying to figure out a pattern that would help us to clean when there is diverse you know, lots of variations that you can't control, you can't really understand it clearly. Yeah, it comes in very perfectly. So if you check very well, you see that it's 100% accurate. So you have the well 3A, well 4B. So you can put this down for every other case here. You can do the same. I could say well name here. You can do the same for the OML, right? And you can use a similar prompt. You say AI dot format, okay, and then you select this, and then you put in the prompt. Sorry, that is a mistake. All right, and then you say delete well XX put in OML XX format. Let me do that again. All right. So you can pull that down for down to the end to get the ones for every other well, right? Every other sample here. So if you wonder why while I'm using just I'm not doing it, it's just because I'm trying to save the few credits I have. All right. So I don't I don't run out of them while I'm doing this. All right. So with that you have a whole set of cleaning done. I mean, very, very fast. Okay. So in say 10 seconds or 20 seconds, you can do a whole lot just by doing this. All right. So let's check off another case. You have a case of debt. Okay, so I'll just keep this one, not because it's anything, but there are cases when you notice you have debt and you want to like remove a few things from it. Sometimes there are text embedded in numbers, which is fine. You can use, if you are good in Excel function with Excel functions, you can use Excel function. In this case, it's so simple because you just need to find the count of the character either from the right side, okay, and you can split this, okay. So I'm going to skip that one just because the examples I have here is simple. For this, you have some chemicals, and maybe you want to put them in a specific format, and okay, this is a bit simple too, so I'm going to leave it. All right. So I'm actually going, okay, see, I'm actually going to the date and timestamp where I want to show you ones that you cannot easily do with Excel formulas. All right. So that is where AI comes in. Okay. So you have a timestamp like this. You can see this is more than just about the format because you can't change the format in this case as they are all scattered. Right. So this could be timestamps for production data, for well tests, for anything. All right. And you want to quickly change the format, you can change it to, you can attempt to change it through maybe using any of this long date, short date, but nothing is going to change because it's not in an acceptable format. So AI can help you fix that very quickly. All right, you just say AI.format, and by the time you do this, you select the cell, and then you write the format. So I'm going to write, this is how I'm going to write the format. I'm going to say, put in, okay. Put in year, and month, and day format. All right. And then I'm going to, okay, I think I probably messed up something, which is the last, oh, sorry. This came in earlier than it should. All right. So it shows busy for a few seconds, but then it comes up. All right. So you can see how we have successfully cleaned or that, this can be very disturbing. Sometimes you come across production data and you tried by all means to change their formats, because let me show you an example of that production data, that kind of data, right? So I work with data a lot. I'm going to show you an example of that kind of data. I have it right here with me. All right. it can be so annoying, right? So in a case where you have thousands of production data, okay. Yeah, in a case where you have thousands of production data, you have you know, a lot of production data, but you notice something. Look at this date. I had to create a new column, right? This was before AI. I had to create a new column. The reason being that, okay, this is a lot of data, by the way. This is about 10,000 or 12,000 or so, 22,000 in this case. All right. So I'm trying to I'm trying to use this data for analysis in Power BI or somewhere, maybe here in Excel too. But it keeps telling me that this date is not following, it's not in the right format. All right. It keeps telling me the date doesn't have the right format. All right, let me use this one. I think this is much better. Right, but they are the same data anyway. All right, so it keeps telling me that the date is not in the right format. So what I did was I had to so I made a lot of attempts using different formulas. So what I noticed is the problems with this date column were numerous. It's not just a single case, it was many, and they are different. All right, so it wasn't just a single case of a text embedded somewhere within this date, because I tried changing the format all I could, but it did not work. It still remained I mean, it's going to, let me show you that. Okay, so I've highlighted a column and I could try changing it to dates. But by the time you click on this, you still see sort A to Z here, showing you that Excel sees this as a text. All right. So sometimes you can even try using if you know how to do that, you can use format cells from here, and you try to put in a few custom methods here. But that is not the problem. That will not solve the problem, because within this data, right, a few cells or a number of cells have a problem with text or some strange characters. I've tried with other formats too, like using what we call the clean and the trim function. If you know about it, I use that a lot to try to clean or attempt to clean this column, but that did not work. All right, it probably cleaned a few rows, but it did not work. I put it in Power Query, Power BI. I made all attempts. It still did not work. Right. So trust me, I know exactly what I'm saying when you encounter challenges like this. Right. So I had to create another data, but this one is a different data anyway. Right. I had to use a different data altogether. Right. But it's not. This is just a different, completely different data. It's not from this one. Right. So I'm just telling you some of the challenges you are likely to face in dealing with this. So when I tried scrolling occasionally, I could see some cases where there are some characters embedded in a strange way in the dates. All right. So when you have this kind of scenario, this is where you would really, really appreciate AI. All right. It's going to help you put it in a structured, decent, and clean format. All right. So that is it. That is it.
Are winding up the session, sir?
Sorry?
Are we winding up the session?
No, I don't. No, that's so. Is it? Oh, okay. I think we have just 1 hour. I still have a lot.
No.
This is just data cleaning.
Doubt only. You are good to continue only.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's quickly jump from. I think we've gotten the concept of I think we've gotten the concept of the data cleaning with AI. All right. So let's see how we can progress to. Let me quickly jump to another use case. All right. So in this use case, I'm going to be talking about categorization very, very quickly. All right. This one is it's not my best anyway. All right. It's not my best. It's important, but it's not my best. All right. And you would see why. All right. because it's a bit open-ended, and the oil and gas is very conservative. So you have to be careful. It's a highly technical. Almost everything is technical, some level of technicality in the oil and gas. All right. So okay. So we have a case of priority. All right. So this is more like remarks or summary from either the field maintenance people in the guys in the maintenance field, guys in the field keeping a report of a few assets or a few equipments. All right, and you can see the asset name. We have things like compressor, you have generator, you have pumps, you have a choke valve, and then you have the location where exactly that particular equipment is located, all right, in the facility. Then we also have the name of the engineer who did that inspection, all right? And this was his report. So sometimes this report comes in form of, a lot of companies already have, like the BS companies will probably have a structure around it, how you report, maybe something like a form, where the necessary things will be ticked. But most times they come in written remarks like this, all right? And you have something like a summary, okay? So let's say you have a number of them done over time, over months or years, and you probably want to see the ones you should revisit or prioritize. AI can actually help that because of its ability to understand context, right? Can help you with that. So like I said, this one is slightly open-ended, right? So all you just need to do is to, first of all, provide the categories you intend, right? So it's going to help you categorize all this text, okay? So let's say, let's use priority. So I'll write the category. So this category, it could literally be anything. It could be a set of, it could be anything, all right? It could be good, bad. It could be a set of 10 different categories or 20 different categories, all right? But in this case, we just have 3 different categories: high, medium, or low, all right? So you want to know which to prioritize. And by default, the manual way is to start reading through all this one after the other, all right? So trying to find out which of them you should prioritize, which of them should we pay more attention to, okay? So if you work in this line of work, this might be very, very helpful to you, right? So sometimes it's not just the maintenance logs or something. It could be production data where you have comments on the production. Maybe I could come to that, but let's quickly see how to deal with this. All right. So we'll say AI dot. Now you're going to use AI dot choice. All right, that's the function to use in this case. Okay, so and then you select this, and after that you put in the choices you have by highlighting the 3. Just write this down somewhere, all right, in a separate place, right? And then you close this, and then it's going to help you. It's going to help you categorize them based on the language, okay? So it's going to try to read the language. Sorry, I think I made a mistake here, so I'm going to correct that. So you are supposed to freeze these cells with F4, all right? So freezing simply means that when you are pulling them, it's going to help us when you are pulling them down. They do not, because if you look at this, for example, you notice that it has shifted as a result of our sliding it, right? But by the time we freeze them, all right, that's going to fix it, okay? So I'm going to do this. So you can see that AI automatically understands context and tries to compare them. So gas leak detected near separator unit, evacuation initiated. So the language indicates high priority, high high attention, right? You need to give it the highest attention. Then here it says minor software glitch in SCADA interface, no process impact. So basically, it doesn't impact anything, but it's something that should be still an issue that was noted by the engineer, the maintenance engineer. So it gives it low. All right. Wellhead pressure trending upwards faster than expected. So basically, it gets this from the language of the of whoever of the language of the inspector or of the engineer, whoever puts down this, right? So by the time you pull this down all through, you would see that it's going to help you really do your work very fast. I mean, you have to think it's more than just maintenance. You could think of a lot of areas where you could apply this. All right. So that is one area, but I want to pause for a moment. I've just been going one way. I want to know if there are questions. If there are questions in the comments, you can read them out, please. Are there questions? Mr. Host. The host, are there questions? Do I have questions? Can you guys still hear me? Confirm that. Okay. I don't know if it's. I don't think we're still having that issue. What's his name? Please, should I go on? Can I progress? All right. Thank you. All right then. So that is how you set categorization. So think of it. What is that thing you are trying to do? And then you are trying to categorize. You are trying to create categories or give categories. Sometimes it could be something related to safety. All right, safety issue. Maybe incident reports. You are trying to analyze incident reports and stuff like that. And let's say there are so many of them. All right. This can really save you a lot of time. All right. So let's look at this in production monitoring. Okay, so in this case, it's more like a positive, neutral, and negative. All right. So this is more like a narrative that is added in the daily production report, right? The data that is provided daily, or the daily operations report, whatever it is. All right. So maybe you want to use this you want to find out what they are saying, and you want to categorize it as positive or negative. And sometimes you want it to be automatically highlighted with conditional formatting, right? All that can be done. All right, all that can be done. You just need to use normal conditional formatting formula. But let's first of all start with writing or providing the categories. All right, and then neutral. All right. So I'm going to do equals to AI dot choice. Okay. And I'll put in select the cell and close this. So it's busy for a moment. Let me zoom in a bit. And then it says positive, because here it says daily output exceeded by 5%. All right. And then by the time you pull this down. You can pull this down to the end. Okay, I keep forgetting to freeze my cell. Okay, so I'm going to do this now. So how you do that is to press F4. All right, if you have a function key, if you on your keyboard, maybe you might want to press that as well to make sure that you press the F4 and you'll be able to do that. Okay, so I can pull this down. All right. So once you see that green icon there, it shows it's still loading. You should not take the result and jump out yet. Just wait for a few more seconds. All right. So you have a flow rate stabilized after pump replacements. Sounds good. Unexpected shorting due to wellhead pressure spike. It says negative. And then it says optimized stroke set increase throughput positive. So stuff like this, you can use it to know what you should focus or pay your attention to. All right, instead of having to read through a lot of things, this can save you a whole lot of time. All right, so that is it for let me see if I still have. That's it for that. I think I've seen that already. Maintenance planning. All right. All right. So that is it for categorization. Now, another thing that you will find very interesting is how to structure unstructured data. All right. Let's look at this, for example. Imagine you have somebody sent this over to you. All right. This happens to be a set of let's make this E and make this intro. This happens to be maybe a set of test results, and basically you look at this, you can't use it like this for analysis. So what would you do normally? You will start by copying and pasting, right? Manually. You would start trying to build this into a table. Okay. Sometimes this could be sent like this in an email or in an Excel sheet or maybe in another document format in a PDF or something. And then you see here you have the well name, you have this information here. Sometimes they could just all be in one or two columns like this downwards. You keep seeing different information, and even sometimes you could see some of their headers in between here. But even with that, it's not going to stop. It's not going to prevent the AI from structuring this data the way we are going to do it now, right? So this can save you a ton of time, all right, a whole lot of time. So all you need to do first is to identify what you want, the columns you want in your table. All right, you want a structured data, a structured table. So what are the things you intend to make into your columns? All right. So it could be the names. You could just copy them here and could write them down manually, or you could copy them from here and then transform them from vertical to horizontal. Let me show you how to do that. Okay, no, let's not do that so that it doesn't affect the whole thing. So I could just copy this, put this here, flowing tubing pressure, FTP, rates, okay, and duration. Now, some of the few things you need to notice is, for example, here you can see that this is in full spelling, flowing tubing pressure, but in some other ones, in others, you can see that it's FTP here. Also, you can see that they are not arranged they're not sorted properly. The flowing tubing pressure is number 4 here, but here it is number 3. All right. So the whole thing is not exactly following any clear structure. All right. But we want to see how AI can help us do wonders now in a few seconds instead of having to do this. Sometimes this could be across pages and not just one page. You might see this, you might see one of them in one page, and another one in another page, and another one in another page. All right. So how would AI help you in this case? All right. So I'll say equals to dot AI, and you are going to select table, right? And then the first thing to do, okay, before that, what we need to do is to write our prompt. And the prompt is going to be create a table with this data. As simple as that. All right. And I'll say AI dot table. Sorry. And then I'll select the cell with a prompt. It's better you write the cell in a prompt so that in case anything happens, you can always go back to it instead of having to write it all over again, because you will lose your text if you'll likely lose your text if for example anything happens while you are typing that, right? So, and then the header, you will select this headers you have written, all right, and separate that with a comma. And then the source, you just go ahead and highlight all this, okay, and then you press enter. It's going to show busy for a few seconds there, all right, or for a minute there. But then you would quickly notice we now have a table, okay? Looks small because but you'll quickly notice we now have a table. And if you want, you can take your time to validate if this information is correct, and you will find out that it's correct. You can also see the units here, okay? So these are some of the things you can do with AI. Imagine you have about 100 of this, how long it's going to take you, and how much AI has just saved you. It can save you hours, turning hours to seconds. That's what we are talking about here. All right. So let's look at another example of a similar case. In this case, we are going to be looking at a core analysis, right? So we have several core samples here. Okay, so we have several core samples here, and let us see what we can do here. So we are going to write a core sample here as the table, as the first table header. The next is going to be, is this core sample? Let's call it the zone. All right. Then let's say we have a lithology, and then we have permeability. I think I should have just let you try this one before. Maybe if I can give you this note, if I can send this notebook, this sheet across to you, just for you to get something. Okay, let's just stop here. Notes. Okay. Or let's call it comments. All right. So, let's write our prompt first. So you can make the prompt more descriptive. You can explain a few things you want. And for example, you can tell it to leave the comments empty for cases without comment. All right. So AI.table, and so you have the prompt, and so you have the headers, which is this, and then you have the source. Says busy. So basically, what it did was it selected three of these cases. Hold on. Let's just confirm this. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this again. Let's just confirm that I selected everywhere. Okay, I'm going to run this again. All right, good. So I probably did not select all the rows or something. So the problem with this data is that a lot of there are a few. Okay, I think there are a few. There was a little mix-up why I transported the data here, right? And that has to do with this zone and this core sample name. So it kind of confuses the model, right? This core sample and this zone. So that is what you see here as the problem. Okay, so a little bit of consistency is still needed anyway. Okay, so that is it. I'm going to go or move on to the next interesting thing. Okay, I think our time is fast spent now. Our time is fast spent now. I will take questions if there are questions. Okay, that will be all for this session, guys. There's actually a lot more to be done.
Sir, I have a question.
And okay, go on, please.
So can we use a developer also in action? So we can use in a better way.
Sorry, your voice is not so audible over here.
Yeah. I'm asking, can we use a developer in Excel?
Developer
Yeah,
in
developer.
Excel,
Yeah,
developer mode.
maybe yeah, developer
Yeah,
mode.
sure. Sure, you can do that. But do you have something specific in mind?
You have to go to file. First, you have to enable the developer. So then you can
So
use the Marcos. We can
I
use
want
the
to know.
Marcos.
Okay, you mean using of macros? Sure, you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've not still understood your question.
Okay. I'm asking just can we use or not? If we want, we can use or not, sir.
So you can, I think you can, but the thing is this. The thing with macros is everything has its limitation. All right.
Okay.
So why there are a few things macros can do. First of all, the problem with macros is complexity. Not everybody knows how to use macros properly, and even at that, macros is still a little bit limited. It's still limited a lot, actually. All right. So
Okay.
yeah, unless you are asking using of AI together with VBA, something like that, then yeah, we can
Yes.
do something like that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but that would have to be another session or another time.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Okay, if that's all, I think if that's all, I think we can call it a day here.
Sure, sir.
So thank you all. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.